Hi all, welcome to my YouTube channel Canada Tried and Tested. In today's video, I'll talk about our grocery and food expenses here in Toronto and how my wife and I have been keeping this budget in control without compromising on what we eat. In fact, we realize that food is the most flexible part of our family budget. I will cover following in today's video: our initial concern as a new immigrant on high spending and eating out, the process we have created as a family to bring down the budget to less than $200 a month from initial $550 a month, cooking plan we have, grocery planning and the checklist, using of credit card and reward cards to gain points, and app we use for the price comparison and saving. How do we reward ourselves with the savings we achieve? For those of you who are new, please subscribe to my channel and press the bell notification to get my all future videos. When we were planning to come to Canada, we started gathering information on expenses including grocery spend. We checked for information online, government website, news articles, spoke to known people, various social media forums, which only added to our confusion on what is the right budget to estimate. We realized that there is no one correct answer to this, as every family needs and eating habits are different. In fact, this is the 15 days grocery bill of one of the known Indian family, and what I learned from them is that like many Canadians, they too eat out frequently, which added another 30% to the overall expense. My initial estimate for two of us was coming to close to $500 to $550. Since we had planned to stay in short-term rentals and knew we will have to eat out many a times while finding jobs, attending conference, meeting, etc., we looked at reducing the budget at later stage. Back home, we were spending approximately $55 for entire month grocery, and being a new immigrant without any source of earning and spending almost 10 times more will be a cause of concern to anyone, which I am sure you will be able to associate, especially the comparison of everything with your home country equal. When we landed here in Canada, we realized that even after eating out conservatively, we were still spending $28 minimum per head, which excluded the taxes and tips, which was not just hurting our budget, but we were not sure of the nutritional value also. And also the mind was converting that into our home country money. So this is how we started to find ways to reduce spending without compromising on what we eat, by doing some small changes like we make all three meals at home unless there is some real constraint. We have made this as a process which is quite simple, stress free and teamwork between both of us. In fact, cooking is such a fun now. We buy almost no processed food. This is the only item on our shelf as a quick survival food and has not been used for more than 2 months now. We buy seasonal fresh food as they would be cheaper but not without price comparison, which I will show later. We avoid bulk purchase, instead rely on small portion required for week. We both like traveling, so whatever savings we achieve from our shopping is a reward we use while we travel. My wife is a vegetarian and I am a non-vegetarian. Despite our contrasting food preference, we eat what we prefer without cutting deep into our pockets. By preparing all meals at home meant we can write portion on what we want to eat so that there is no food wastage. Preparation is a combined effort as it is difficult to manage by one person. We share our work and roles are clearly defined. Yes, we run our home like organization. When it comes to role definition, nothing is left to ambiguity. Measurement, cleaning, cutting, chopping, grinding, pasting, kneading dough, soaking pulses, making batter, and of course cleaning the trash is my role. And cooking is left to my wife, so is the dishwashing. Since everything is mentally mapped now, believe me, it's so easy and comfortable to make food, and the time we get to spend together is even much more. We use the kitchen as conversation space, which is so much fun and stress. For cooking plan, we stick to simple meal plan with familiar ingredients and mostly use recipes as inspiration rather than something to be followed in later. In the morning for breakfast, coffee, fruit, bread and egg is a must. We bring some variation like dosa, poha, upma for weekends only. Also, this is the time when rice for lunch is also prepared. The total preparation time is about 30 to 40 minutes. In the evening, we prepare vegetable and curry, which can come for both dinner as well as lunch, and then roti for dinner. Sometimes we bring in variation with pulao, fried rice, pasta, noodle, etc. And if we don't feel like cooking, then we have a quick meal like Maggi. The total preparation and cooking time is about 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes. Initially, it would take about 2 hours, but now with practice and some process improvement, we have brought it down. Since we have a dishwasher at home, we survive the hassle of washing dish, and this saves us a lot of time and effort. For grocery spending, getting to supermarket and keeping away from temptation of convenience is hard. You will agree that we end up spending more than what we planned, and sometimes just gets carried away and buy what is not even required. And this is where our spending was going high. Here we bought some early preparation and discipline to help us. We plan our grocery for a week only and try not to do any impulsive buying, which means there is always a rotation happening and we have zero waste since we keep our food inventory bare minimum and nothing gets wasted. Our less inventory means less clutter. As you know, anything which is out of sight is out of mind. The non-perishable items, which has longer shelf life, is purchased in big quantity, helping us to reduce the cost, and perishable item is brought only as per the requirement for the week. We understood that buying perishable item in bulk might give us a notional saving and thinking that we can refrigerate, but ultimately when it is not getting used, it ends up in trash. For grocery shopping, there are many stores to go and buy groceries, including the Indian store. But we buy from Walmart or No Frills, as Walmart is about 20 minutes walk from the place of residence, and No Frill it is next to my wife's office. We don't own a car, and even though we have an option to use public commute, which is reliable and convenient, so is the online delivery option. I enjoy taking leisurely walk to the store and use public transport only if the items are bulky. In fact, if I must take a public transport, I have to switch twice and it takes a little more time than I cover walking. So I have a solution to this too, which I carry for bulky weight. In winters, I have no choice but to take the bus. Before going to the store, we make sure we carry our own bag to use bare minimum plastic. This bag I carried from India, which costed me about $1.50, and this is a free one from one of the fair I attended here. We also carry a $1 coin, which is needed to take the card from some of the stores. You get back the coin on leaving the card back. We maintain a checklist of items to be bought and visually inspect items available in stock before going to the store. This helps us to mentally map entire week's menu and variety we need and make iteration to have a final checklist of items to be brought and compare the price with other stores through this app. Okay, let me show you how this app works. So here I open the Flip app, search for Tomato Roma. Amongst all store, this store has the lowest price, so I clip it to the list and it goes and sits in this list. So here is the checklist and price comparison with other stores, and I have saved this list. Now when I reach store, I follow the items in checklist, which means I have faster turnaround to the billing counter, less distraction, less temptation. We do have some flexibility with what we buy as an alternative, but only if price is reasonable and nothing we buy in bulk. Now with all this buying, we do a price check at billing counter on items which I have already saved, pay the money and move out. In fact, once my wife bought packs of pan and the entire pack which was available online or in any other store for $80, she could price match for $38. Here is the comparison of what I saved from this shopping. In fact, I was amazed to know that many of the people whom I have known or spoke know about this but find it too time consuming to do this price match. There are other apps too which gives item at discounted price, but Flip is what I frequently use as I don't hop into too many other stores. Also having a PC Optimum card allow us to gain points at no frills and use as a cashback. And payment by using credit card helps build credit points and cashbacks. By now, if you are thinking that we eat all 3 times meal at home 7 days a week, don't buy any food outside including coffee and snacks, so we must not be socializing at all. Well, we host frequent parties to friends, and despite this our budget remains in desirable range which we are comfortable with. This is what happens when you have too many friends from different parts of geography. Before stepping out of house, we always carry our lunch boxes, snack and water, which allows us the freedom to eat whenever and wherever we want. This really helps. Well guys, with little planning, managing expense is not a challenge at all. In fact, we still have flexibility with us to have meal outside few times a month if we want. So just to summarize, we don't follow any extreme measures. We eat what we want, keep small goals like travel and save money and self reward by traveling.